Peter said to him, "You shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "If I do not wash you, you have no part with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." John 13, verse 8 and 9. Peter meant every word of it when he said, with such firmness, "You shall never wash my feet." His sense of fitness was outraged by the idea of Jesus acting as a servant to him. He would have been entirely more willing to wash Jesus' feet, but the idea of Jesus washing his feet was repugnant to him. But Jesus had a purpose in confronting Peter in the way that he did. He wanted Peter to realize that his salvation was dependent, not on what he might do for Jesus, but on what Jesus could do for him. The instant Peter saw this truth, his defiance melted. He wanted his master to wash not only his feet, but his head and his hands. From that day to this, professed Christians have repeated Peter's mistake of wanting a do-it-yourself religion, but only a few have repeated Peter's complete reversal in attitude. Only a few have fully recognized that the faith by which men are saved is an acceptance of the cleansing power of the divine grace given to us by Christ. How does this work in everyday life? A person becomes a Christian, and then he asks himself, what can I do to make myself acceptable to God? And he may read the baptismal certificate and the Bible and looking eagerly for new duties to perform. His zeal is praiseworthy, but eventually he becomes conscious of a lack in his life. He is depending on what he is doing for God, rather than on what God can do for him. In his busy earnestness, he has failed to meditate and pray. He's so busy trying to work for God that he has no time to be with God. When the light finally dawns and the distraught struggler realizes that God and all his angels are working for him, then, and not until then, fear and uncertainty disappear, and peace and security fill the life. Later in the life of Peter, he says, "Casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." Peter learned this formula, as we also must, through experience. Our faith is not DIY, but rather it is dependent upon him. And as always, think on these things.